So, as I've been coaching teachers recently, a question that comes up a lot is how do I get every single student to participate in classroom discussions and whole class discussions? That's such a great question because so many times you have your two or three that always participate, but then you have your some students that are more shy or your English language learners or they're just not willing to share yet with the group. And so if you're familiar at all with Smeckens, you know that we really like the idea of using turn and talks, that partnership between two students where they come together and they listen to each other and speak to each other about skills and ideas and things in the lesson. And so I love turn and talks. I've also been reading this book called Hands Down, Speak Out. Have you seen this? It's full of ideas of how to explicitly teach your students how to listen to each other and speak to each other in conversations. And so one idea in this book is to make anchor charts with your students and explicitly teach them in mini lessons how to listen and do a turn and talk. And so I made some on large Post-it notes just to show you how you could do it on big chart paper or whatever. This one's just like how to turn and talk and how to physically do it, where one student's talking and one student's listening with the big ears there. And then they switch and this person listens and this person talks. So just showing them physically how it works and what they're doing during a turn and talk. And then I like this idea of teaching them ways to listen. Teach them how do you listen. You can show your listening by looking at your partner and smiling at them. I like the idea of leaning in. You're kind of leaning in and listening in towards them. Also saying little words like, oh, or yes, or really, as your partner's speaking to you to show that you're listening. So I like the idea of building something like that with your students. Also, just teaching them the steps to being a strong listener. I love these 3 steps. Number 1, while my partner's talking, I'm listening. Step 2, I have some think time. I don't just blurt an answer back out to my partner. I wait for a second, and I think about their idea, and I'm thinking about what they just said. Then step 3, I try to share my partner's idea back to them. And so what you said was, and then kind of say it again in my own words so that I can show that I was listening. And so I love the idea of those 3 steps to being a strong listener. So building things like that and taking time to teach them how to do things in mini lessons is a great idea. I also thought about how could you make these digital if you had some students that were like a mix and some students that were learning remotely and some in the classroom or whatever. That way you could have them digital. If you look on the screen, I created this one in Jamboard and I just made over here, you can make sticky notes. I just made large sticky notes and then there's a drawing tool and just drew some of the little pictures that went with them. So I recreated the Some Ways We Listen Post-it and made it digital. So I will share the link to that as well. But I just think these are great ideas to teach your students how to listen and speak to each other in a turn and talk.